Passion our purpose, profit our pain.
I don't ever want my name to be in vain.
A life full of substance is the only thing that will remain the same.
Millennial Thoughts.
Welcome back to the podcast, y'all. It's your girl Alieshia, and I'm so excited because I have a new co-host, and her name is Sabriya, and
Hey, y'all.
and she is going to be our co-host for the season, and I'm so excited to have her, and I thank her so much for being a part of the Millennial Thoughts season 9.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. And we have so much fun stuff to talk about. So it's going to be a real good season ahead. I can't wait. I'm ready.
Yes, so this episode is really just an introduction to Sabria, and also probably a reintroduction to me because life been life and so this season from the last season has been like 5 or 6 months. So we're just going to talk about our new segments, and we're going to just talk about ourselves a little bit, and just get y'all excited to go on this journey of a new season with us. So hopefully you all had a great new year. Hopefully you are getting back in the groove of everything y'all are doing in this season, and hopefully you all will make us a part of y'all routine.
I agree. I think it'll be great. And I think that this is a really great podcast for you to just take time to get some answers to life. I think 2024, I don't know about you, Alieshia, it came in hot. And so I'm hoping that we can help kind of fan the fire down and help bring some peace in this chaos of a world these days.
Okay, yes, and it's already like mid-January. I'm like, the time is going by so fast. Like January is going by so quickly. I'm just kind of getting off of my travel bug. So I'm like trying to get back into regular life, which I've been thrown off for a little bit, but I'm gonna get back onto my routine.
Nothing wrong with a travel bug, though. Nobody's complaining. I got my little bit of traveling last year too, so I'm feeling it.
Yes, definitely. So we have a new segment to the podcast that we want to introduce. I'll let Sabria share it, and then we'll do that segment and we'll keep it going.
Yes. So, what we're going to be having in our new segment is Girl, What's Up? And so, what's Girl, What's Up? It's basically an opportunity to dive into my therapy toolkit. This is an awesome toolkit that I purchased, and it gives an opportunity for us to explore the human experience of our lives together. And so, they're thought provoking question prompt cards that you'll see that we'll use and choose randomly at the beginning of each episode that allows us to talk about a topic in our life and human experience, just to explore where we are. And so you'll learn a little bit more about us through each episode through these cards. And so without further ado, Alieshia, should I pull our first card for today?
Yes, you should. I'm kind of nervous, but go ahead and
I
pull.
know, me too, because y'all, this is random. Nobody knows what
Don't
it says.
know what it is.
Yes. Ooh, this is a good topic. So this card, see the picture here. This card is about resilience. And so what is our relationship with resilience? So Alieshia, what would you say your relationship is with resilience in your life?
I think that is a really ironic, crazy thing that was pulled, because I feel like I always talk about being resilient, just in life, just being a Black girl in life, just through work and stuff like that. Like you got to be resilient. How they tell you got to work 10 times harder, different things, obstacles come your way, whether it's from family, whether it's from school relationships, like being resilient, even in school, like just kind of just like standing up for yourself and just trying to figure out how to navigate life. I just feel like in life, like as a Black woman, I'm resilient, like with everything. I'm always pushing forward and trying to just figure out how to navigate different spaces and stuff like that. So I feel like my relationship with resilience is something that's like you don't want to do it, but you have to do it. And so in regards to that, I actually low key am writing a book about resilience, like a topic. So that's really cool. Yeah. It's about resilience, and it's about a young girl like being having to be resilient when the odds are stacked up against you. So I actually really vibe with the resilience word. But then also now that I'm older, I'm like, ugh, I'm tired of being resilient. So
Girl.
like it's kind of like a tug and pull. It's like I don't want to be resilient anymore. I don't want to have to fight. I don't want to have to push this and push that. So it's kind of like I don't know, it's kind of like a different relationship now with it, but I definitely know, like, looking back and stuff like that, it's like you have to be resilient in your life. Like that's how you're going to have to move forward because it's just things are hard. Nobody's teaching you things, and sometimes you just have to go through things that other people don't go through. So that's kind of like my relationship with the word.
Beautiful. That is so beautifully shared. Congratulations on your book. I think that is a resilient feat in itself to write a book. I mean, trust me, I've been there, I know. And, I think for me, it's so funny. I resonated with you when you said, I am tired of resilience. I think I have this thing, I just made this word up. It's like selective resilience. I'm resilient where I want to be. And I noticed that about myself. So I'm one of those people that if it's really, really inconvenient, I don't know how hard I'm going to fight because I just don't have it in me to be so deeply inconvenienced these days. Like I am not interested in stressing myself out anymore. And maybe call it desire for the soft life these days, whatever you want to call it. But I just ain't got it in me. I mean, I went to the doctor not too long ago. And they were talking about how, my stress hormone was up. And, the cortisol is your stress hormone. And I realized that I can't live in a perpetual state of stress constantly because that's actually affecting you. Stress kills you. I mean, there's diseases and things that come up from being stressed. Even, the research, I've seen is constantly Black women, high blood pressure, health issues. And it's not just because of our food. I mean, I get it. We could, we could all do a little better, right, these days. But at the same time, a lot of it is just simple stress, right? The simple stress. And so for me, I would say a selective resilience is what's in these days, being able to be
Love that
resilient
select.
where where it makes sense because I ain't doing it everywhere now. I ain't got it in me.
Oh, I agree. I love that selective resilience. That's gonna be a new one. But yeah, to your point, it's just like why, like I'm heading to the soft life. Like, why do I have to be resilient? Like, why do I have to figure this out? Why do I have to do this and stuff like that? It's just like so annoying. Like so annoying. And it's just like Black women always have to be resilient. So it's kind of like also kind of like taking the cape off like Superwoman, like, okay, I'm not doing that. I'm not figuring it out. And that's even something that I feel like we're taught when it comes to like dream chasing and stuff like that. I'm like, baby, I don't want to do all that. They're like, you gotta do this, you gotta be poor, be homeless, be living in the car. Like, I don't want to do all that to be trying to chase a dream. I need a dream
I
to
feel
come
you.
through. Okay. Like, and so I feel like sometimes we're taught, like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this, you got to try to even get somewhere. You don't even really know the outcome of it. So I
Yeah.
feel like
And then you're
that.
like, do you even want it anymore on top of that? Then you're like, do I even want this anymore? Because by the time you done did all this, like, do I even want this?
Like, is it worth it? Like, literally, is it worth it to be so dang resilient? Like, I don't even know if it's worth it. Like, no, thank
Yeah.
you at all.
Yeah.
So that was a
I
really
feel you. That's a good one. So that is our girl. What's up? So if you are wanting to kind of connect to that topic, feel free to comment on any of our platforms when we share this episode, because I think resilience has a lot of opinions and perspectives. So this is really cool to share that. This is fun. I like it.
yeah, that was good. And tell us, are you tired of being resilient? Tell us when maybe the last time you had to be resilient. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Millennial Thoughts Pod and Facebook, and we'll post this, and then you all can, comment. And it's going to be on YouTube too, Millennial Thoughts Podcast. We have a YouTube channel, so check it out. And just tell us like what's your story with resilience. I think that's actually really a great topic to talk about. It's not really talked about a lot, but what is really talked about a lot, but like I know that I talk about it and I think about it. So yeah, I really like that one. So our next segment is just a thought of the day, as you all may know. We're just here to just like share some fun facts, maybe talk about what we are looking forward to this year, talk about our wellness journey and talk about just what to look forward to the podcast and being back in this podcast era that that I've taken a break from for a while because life was life and
I
um
feel that.
yeah and just a chat. So yeah, that's our next segment. It's the same. The girl talk is new, but this segment is the same.
Yes. So, Alicia, I saw you got back from, I mean, I got to talk about it, Ghana, the motherland. And
Yeah.
I was so in love with your experience. It was like it was really cool to see. It seemed like you were very harmonious with the experience. Like I kind of felt that through your pictures and through what you were sharing. It was like there was an energy and harmony that I feel like you had that maybe you haven't experienced back home. So, can you share a little bit about just how it was and what it was like?
So yes, small little plug. I have a Ghana travel vlog, so if y'all want to go see it, y'all can see it on my YouTube channel. Okay. I don't even know what my YouTube channel is called. I think it's called Talks with Alieshia. But I also have a podcast called Bon Voyage Podcast where I'm going to be talking about my whole Ghana trip. So y'all can listen to that as well. So I'm gonna give a little snippet about it. But yeah, I did just come back from the motherland. I spent New Year's there. I was there for a week. I went to three different cities.
Oh
So
my
it was
God.
a lot of, yeah, it was really actually a lot of exhaustion. It was like tired and exhaustion because it's like get up, go down, get up, go down, get up, go down. But I would say that it was my first time in the motherland. It was like it was a cool experience. It was different experiences. So I guess let me explain it. So Accra is the capital. That's where we went to like Afrofuture. We went to the first president's museum. They have like a museum for him. And then we just toured the city. Um, and now I'm trying to think what else we did. We went to the botanical gardens actually. Bob Marley's wife lives up there. It's the rich area called Aubrey Gardens or something like that. So Accra is more like where expats go. People know about it. So it's more city, and it is so hot, so hot. So many people. There's all these markets and stuff like that. Like one of the biggest markets is there. And so I think it was a different experience because also, we're in Africa, like we're where the black people are at. So you don't really know who's African or who's not, like black, whatever, because you're just in that era. Like, okay, like I see people that look like me. So
Hmm.
that's one thing. It's like, oh my goodness. And like people are so nice, they're so kind and stuff like that. And even when I got off the airport, it was so hot. Okay. So hot. Like the humidity was so hot. But I didn't even carry my bags like in my vlog, like I didn't even carry my bags barely out the airport. Like the
Soft life.
guy, come on. So, like the guy took my bags to the car. When I got there, the bags, like they went to my room. Like I didn't even carry any of my bags. And that was like all three of the hotels. Like they was
That's
lifting
amazing.
bags up. Like so it's like I didn't really have to lift, I didn't have to carry my bags or anything like that. And then you're like with people who are like, they don't know you, but I just feel like it's like a genuine sense, like they're helpful, they're kind, It was a group of all women. So like, that's a whole nother story. But looking back on it, I was the youngest person on that trip. And when I
Wow.
think about that, I'm like, dang, like it really is a blessing. Like I went to Ghana in my 20s. Some people do, some people don't. I mean, my friends, I know they're actually from Ghana. Actually, my friend Nancy, she's actually Ghanaian. I don't know if you knew.
That's
Um, yeah.
cool.
So she told me a lot about it. And then I went to Kumasi where she's from. And so that's like cultural. Like, so we did a naming ceremony there in the Ghanaian culture. Like whatever day you're born, you have a name. So we did that. We learned to dance. We did
Uh,
like a batik project. Now, baby, I'm not no artiste, but I tried, okay? And then we went to like an orphanage. And so that was kind of more like cultural. We did, of course, like ATVing, and then
oh,
we
that's fun.
a waterfall. That was cool. So Kamasi was more like a cultural experience, and that's where like the guy was from who took us on there. So that was kind of cool. And then we went to the saddest part was we went to Cape Coast, which was the slave castles, which was Elmina Castle, where we seen like the slave castles. We seen where they were at. We heard the whole history. We seen the water and stuff like that. We did a slave bath kind of. It's like a site where we went where our ancestors was like taking their like last bath kind of
Oh
basically.
my gosh.
Yeah, so we went into the water, we seen it, we seen the path and everything like that. And so it was kind of like, so that's kind of like how the trip went. So it's like fun, Accra, nice, then it's like cultural, then it's like pass or something like that. And I was really interested in Cape Coast, just going to it, just seeing it because I've heard about it. And so those moments was so surreal to me. Like the Accra is cool, whatever, but like I'm a cultural girl, I'm a heritage girl. And so just knowing that like I learned about Ghana, African studies like 10 years ago when I took my first Pan African Studies course and I minor in it, like it was kind of like a full circle moment to like actually see what was talked about and heard about, like from Marcus Garvey and like Kwanzaa, like just like learning about African. and stuff like that. I took other classes too as well, but like just knowing about Ghana and hearing about it and then like
Yeah.
actually like seeing it was like so surreal to me. So it's like people who were mad and stuff like that having emotions, but I'm like, I feel like I don't know if I was like as emotional because I'm like I already have it. Like it's like how can you do this? Like this is so inhumane, right? But I've been
Yeah.
thinking about that the whole entire time. So I didn't have any emotions about that, but like seeing it, it's like, wow, like this is what they were doing, like this is where it was at, like this is the like
Someone's like reality. Like this is
it's
a
like
real
yeah, it's like you don't
reality.
even have words. Yeah, like it's the reality. It's like you don't have words to even say it, what they were doing, how they were getting people. Like it's just so sad. And
It's
it's just
horrific.
very much so. And just hearing about it. Oh, we also got to see some African drummers as well. That goes back to a whole nother story. But and just seeing how they just come and then like looking at Africa, looking at who was colonizing, who was not colonizing, just looking at how it is and just something that I was thinking about over there is kind of like, dang, my ancestors kind of made it over here and out, on one hand, but it's like, dang, what if I was actually like still in Africa? So it's just like comparing my life, like, what if I was still in Africa? What if I lived in Africa? They have a whole different way of living. And one thing I would say is like they take education very, very seriously. Over here, it's important, but we don't take it seriously. But they're like trying to actually take it and do whatever with it to, go to their next step. But what I will say about Africans is like they're all over the place. They go to all these different countries, all they know all these different languages. So it's just something to me. It's like, well, dang, it's kind of like, are you fortunate to be over here in America, or are you unfortunate that you're not in Africa? Like that's just something that I
Oh,
was
that's so powerful. I love that. And it's funny. I mean, we're getting fun facts out of this like through you. I mean, you're clearly very passionate about travel and you really love culture and history, which I think that's awesome because in many ways I feel like I connect with you on that. I actually had come from Portugal in November. I went there and I found out while I was there that Portugal had slaves, slavery
the
occurred in
first
Portugal.
one.
Yeah, and the first one, yes, like I had no idea. I did not know that. And so while I didn't do any specific slave tours in Portugal at the time, I, found myself down a well, 700 meters and what was it was a rock mine, and all a salt mine. And so I did all these really cool things, the ATV and all that stuff and it was fun. But one thing I kind of came to realize is that I think I really loved travel when I was younger and like during college. Like I love travel, but I feel like it's different now as an adult. Like I've realized that when you travel now, like further in your life, like I have all these responsibilities back home. I know I got to make up these projects and assignments, especially working for yourself. And so I kind of like was in this thing of trying to balance, like, is this inconvenient that I'm leaving for a week? And also I want to have a good time. And this is also kind of inconvenient, but I'm also trying to have a good time and do what I want to do. So it was a very hard balance. And so I kind of realized that I do love my life back home and I'm grateful for what I do have at home too. But on the same token, I'm glad to get out of my comfort zone and take that time for myself. And so I think that, we definitely connect on that level on that.
Yeah, I have 3 points because what you said. So first we're gonna go to the Portugal point. And so the guy that has his hotel in Ghana where we went to Cape Coast, he's from Portugal. I'm
Oh,
like, no. I told the tour guys, like, you don't need to be here because he a colonizer. Oh, period. Like he not, but he is. But like Portugal, the Portuguese, they was the ones who was colonizing people first. So I'm like, but all the black people are going to Portugal now. So I'm confused. So I'm kind of torn on should I go to Portugal or should I not go to Portugal? Or
yeah.
maybe Spain was the first one, not Portugal. I'm sorry, maybe Spain. Let me get that correct for the people who come from me. But I think it was Spain. But all of it is Europe in general. And so I'm like, dang, do I really want to go to Portugal? Do I not want to go to Portugal? Because it's just but
Well, no, you're right. The first wave of European colonization began with Spanish and Portuguese conquest and
okay, see,
exploration.
yeah, it's
Yeah, you on there. You right.
okay, see, you gotta, your history, and clearly I do like it in a sense. But yeah, so sad. And so I'm like, so one thing I'm like, a lot of people going there, living there, y'all taking y'all power back because now y'all going there and doing whatever. But then on another part, I'm like, I don't want to give them my money or something like that because like, no, they did you wrong. They don't say sorry, and it's just like, they don't even. It's just like, what made y'all even do that? So that's what I'm gonna say about that, and that could be a whole nother episode. Um, but I do want to visit Portugal though. But I've heard and things about it. And I want to visit Spain, but I'm like, ooh, child, I heard what y'all did there, so I don't know. That is kind of how I feel about that. Secondly, when you're talking about the responsibilities, yes, I love travel when I was in college. I'm like, I would go back like in grad school, but like now I'm talking to my friends, I'm like, I do like to travel. Like last year, I did 12 trips in 12 months. A
Whew.
lot. Um, it wasn't easy. It was like time consuming in the sense what you said. It was fun to me because I do like to travel, but the whole like figuring out where you want to go, paying for it and stuff like that. Now that right there, and
Mm.
when you have rent bills, it's not like you have a school check and you can get money. You don't have responsibilities. Now you got a car,
You
rent,
right, you right. When them bills hit.
okay, student loans. So it's kind of definitely harder. And so I also can't see why people don't travel, or I see why people don't travel. But to me, I never knew I traveled a lot, honestly, because I got into this space through travel. So to me, I'm seeing everybody travel 2 times a month do this. So it's like, I don't really think I travel. My friends are like, you do travel a lot. Or I didn't think I traveled a lot. My friends are like, you do travel a lot. But I was like, I see travel bloggers, travel bloggers. So it's all about perception.
Yes,
Now when
agreed.
I talk to people now, even when I posted like I went to 12 trips or something like that, people are like, oh my gosh, that's great, that's great. I know that that is an accomplishment. I do understand that.
It is.
My friend, she's like, oh, going to Ghana, like that's an accomplishment. I'm like, I don't take it as an accomplishment. And since I didn't take it as an accomplishment, but I'm like, oh, I am the youngest person on the trip. Like, oh, it's so cool. Like I did get to go. But because I travel so much and I'm not trying to say it like that, it's kind of like, oh, it's another trip for me. Like I don't really like sit back and look at it as an accomplishment to me
Yeah.
because it's just so normal to me. And people are like, oh, I'm seeing this couple of things like people wouldn't travel if they wasn't on social media. People wouldn't travel if they wasn't on social media. Like I see people saying that. And I'm like, no, I would still travel because I traveled even before I was even on social media. Like I went
Tell
to
them, girl.
I went to France. I went to Paris. Didn't speak no French. I went to Paris in high school. I
I
went,
did too. That's so
oh, you did?
funny. I went to Paris in high school. That's
For real?
funny.
Yeah. Did you do like a study abroad type thing?
It was like one of those, yeah, it was like an EF, it's called EF, it was one of those tours, like,
Yeah.
yes, EF tour, yes. And I did the whole thing. It was so long ago. It's so funny thinking of it. That was my first dose of travel, and that got me like interested in it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's funny. But see, it's
Oh.
funny though. It's interesting. Like for me, travel now is hard too because I think that like I have pets and stuff. Things are so different, right? I got pets. I got my husband, and so many like things on. I think in my life too, it makes it so hard because when I leave, I know I'm leaving behind a lot of responsibility to somebody else. And I feel so bad. I'm like, you got to manage all the household stuff without
Mhm.
me and all that. It's so different, right? It was much easier in high school when nothing was going on or
It was your
college.
responsibility. That's also kind of why I mean I do travel. And so people like take advantage of it. Like I'm in my 20s, like I don't have no kids. I'm not married. So I am gonna take
Yeah,
advantage of it as much as I can. And that's why I
agree.
don't have pets because baby, you can't take them with you and they
You
too.
can't. And it's very inconvenient to take your pet with you abroad.
Yeah, it really is. They was talking about dogs gotta go under the plane. I said, what?
And it's expensive. It's a whole thing. And then yeah, the shots and the
Yes, this girl was talking about how she gotta pay like $1,000 to take her dog with her. Someone was like, well, I'll just watch it for you. I'm
exactly.
cracking up, but yeah, and that's something like that's inconvenience, baby. I pop that baby on my lap and keep it moving. Come on, girl. I'm for real, but yeah, the responsibility is crazy. So it's just like it's so hard. Then you had one more point at the end, but now I can't remember. You said Portugal. I said something about that. Said about responsibility and then something else, but I can't remember the last part. So
We'll find our way back. We'll
yeah,
find it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Oh, what were you gonna say?
oh no, I was gonna add, I mean, I guess another thing that one thing that I am passionate about is, love and relationships. I think and we're ironically gonna be talking about that. And then also singleness as well. I mean, I've actually done research I'm in my PhD and I've done, some research work on singleness and relationships. I'm really interested in that type of content online. So I'm excited for us to cover that as well, even in our podcast season ahead. And then also talking about work and career and how do we make all this work and how do we fit in things like travel and our well-being. So I'm
I'm
excited.
over the passport bros in the relationship.
Ooh, that's a whole topic. Passport bros. I can't wait to talk about that, y'all. That's gonna be some good juicy stuff.
I'm like, baby, I am tired of it. But yeah, it's kind of like, and then but I am in that stage now because it's like, okay, well, you are single, you don't have no kids. Then be like, okay, well, are you gonna have kids? Are you gonna not have kids? That's the whole
There's the
conversation.
pressure, right? It's that pressure. We're hitting that stage in our lives.
Mhm. The age and it's like, okay, well, are you gonna settle down? Da, da, da. Don't know about settling down, but I'm traveling. And so yeah, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that can really tie into it.
Yeah.
I just really don't know. And so you just can control what you can control, and you control what you can't control what you can't control. That's how I say it. I'm gonna have kids.
Yeah.
Whatever, whatever. I mean, I do want kids. People actually are really surprised when I tell them that, but I'm like, oh, I do want kids. Like, I don't know why people are really surprised because they're like, you travel so much, and I'm like, okay, and I'm gonna be taking my kid with me.
Look, take the babies, pack them up, put the car seats on the plane. But you know what's
That's
funny?
really a lot. They need to be with their grandparents because, baby, when I be seeing them car seats and them strollers, I be like, child, baby, I'm about to be like my people in Africa. They be wrapping their baby behind. You
Wrapping the
stroller.
baby.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Africans are resourceful. When I was over there, you don't need no stroller. You don't need your hands. Get that thing, put that thing on your head, put that baby around your back, and you gone.
I love that. I
Y'all
love that.
trying to
And
do too much consumerism over here in America. Baby, get that baby on your back.
get that baby on your back. I love that. And it's funny because I think it is true, though. Relationships, there is a different sacrifice that comes with, a passion for travel. Ironically, I'm thinking about, in popular culture, Rachel Lindsay. She was the first Black bachelorette as a woman on the show. And I don't really watch Bachelor a lot. I think I tried to watch it when the one guy was on there. And then there was a whole controversy with who he ended up with, the one Black guy, I think Matt James or something. But, anyways, she and her husband are getting a divorce. They were together for like what, 4 years or something. He was like a doctor. And turns out the issue was that she was traveling, taking all these gigs and doing all these things and wanting to do all this stuff. And he actually got a divorce with her because he he was like, how are we going to settle down and have a child? You said you want a child, but then the next moment you're taking a flight off somewhere else. And I think that people don't realize that there's a unique sacrifice and compromise that you have to make in a long-term relationship. And because she wasn't ready to settle down, her 4-year marriage is over. And I think you try to like get alimony and all kinds of stuff. So that's the whole thing. But it
Mhm.
just goes to show that it's not that simple, right? Like travel can get real complicated when you have other factors in play and there's considerations that have to be made. So, I mean, I definitely think that's a whole topic in itself. So,
Yeah, because I'm like, I didn't follow that, but I did see that she got a divorce because I really don't follow that stuff. But it's like, but it's also like know who you married. Because yeah, I do travel, but also I do take trips. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna be sad, baby. That first year when I had that kid, I'm gonna be so dang sad, especially if I breastfeed. Oh, I'm gonna be crying because maybe that baby gonna be in the car or something like that. But it's like know who it is. And it's like also, y'all just married for 4 years. Also, I think like I don't know what he does, but a
I think
doctor.
he's a doctor. Yeah, I think he's a doctor.
He's a doctor, so he might can't travel, and he could be jealous about that. Not saying that he's jealous, but also y'all only been married for 4 years. Like I don't know how old she is. Like I said, I don't know nothing about her, but I think I
Let me see.
value not having kids so early in the relationship.
Yeah, she
Like,
is like she's 38, so she's hitting that point where she would have to make a decision. I mean, now we got so many
how old is she?
options though.
People be having kids at 40, 45, 50.
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
know
yeah,
how
you're
old
right. We
she is.
got options, but if you want to go, I guess the standard natural route, right? So assuming you want to go like the natural route or whatever. So
And
she
don't you
was
got
like,
money?
yeah, you said, and yeah, if you got money, you can, yeah, because she's a bachelorette, so she has all this publicity stuff she probably makes money off of, endorsements. He's 43 and he's a chiropractor, so
Oh,
I can see why he's in that phase of his life where he's like, okay, I've my career, I've done a majority of it. Because there's also the consideration of I know people like, and this is something that I would love to talk about in future episodes. Is I know that you can have a kid later, but then there's the implications of later in life. I meet a lot of people who have older parents and the anxieties and the struggles they feel, even the health sometimes of people I know that have parents that had them much older. That's its own kind of thing, and that could be complicated because like I know people who like have older parents and they deal with different ailments that maybe their younger siblings or their older siblings didn't deal with because they were maybe a baby or whatnot, and it was unexpected, right? So that's a whole thing. But so I could see how there's complications that come with timing and travel and
yeah,
life.
he's like 43 and she's 38. I can see that too, but also it's like I don't know what the conversations was before that. But then also I'm like, because people be freezing their eggs. Some people freeze their eggs young. So if she had her eggs frozen, I don't know how the heck that worked, but she could have the kids later in life. And so I don't know if she just didn't want to make that sacrifice. But that kind of thing is like, do she want kids? Did y'all not talk about that? I don't know. That's why I think everybody should go to marriage counseling, pre-marriage.
And look, you got the right person here. Oh, by the way, another fun fact about me, y'all. I mean, since we're talking about mental health this season, I am a mental health professional. And so I work in a therapy practice and I provide intensive outpatient therapy services as well. And so when I share things throughout our episodes, it comes from not only experience in my work and my training, it comes from, this background. I also have a bachelor's in social work. So, on top of my master's in clinical mental health counseling. And I'm also in the doctoral program for it. So I'm really excited to share perspectives that are not only from some research and through client experience, and of course with confidentiality and whatnot, but to be able to share it with y'all real tangible stuff. And so one thing I want to add is at the end of each of our episodes, we will have the therapy corner, where we're going to kind of share some tangible tips and wellness hacks and things that you can do to take away from this episode based on what we learned each time. And so I guess, I mean, we're kind of rolling on our way to the therapy corner anyway. Is there anything else? I mean, maybe, is there anything else you want to reintroduce about, Alieshia, before we run into the therapy corner as we wrap up for this episode?
No, but I was gonna say that is also why I brought you on because we have health expert. That's why I was like, okay, mental health season. So, well, this season is all about mental health and wellness. If you've been following me, every season I do talk about different things. And so I haven't talked about mental health or wellness in a season. So I thought that this would be a perfect time to talk about it. It is a new year, but like it's something that affects people in the millennial generation. This is what this is about. This is our thoughts. These are our ideas. And if you have any suggestions or any topics, you can definitely email us at millennialthoughtspod@gmail.com. I'm going to make sure that that's the correct one. Okay. Our podcast, our comment. So if you have topics that you want to talk about, like DM them to us. And we can see like if we can, put that in the schedule or something that you want to do. And so we also have thought about maybe possibly doing a live if we want on YouTube. It could be a live that we talked about. It could be on live that we could talk about a topic or something like that, since y'all are interested in that. So I do want y'all also to be a part of the conversation. This is like a really kind of like big thing to talk about mental health, wellness, and different things like that. But I'm glad that we're doing it at the beginning of the year, because then this can help with your trajectory of the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah.
And like, put it into practice. And we want you to also put the podcast into your wellness routine, as we are uploading these episodes. Episodes will be coming out on Mondays. So make sure that you are, listening and excited to listen to the podcast. And we also will be on YouTube if you like video podcasts. Now, our setup is quite different because, we also are in different states. So that is why we are recording on Zoom. So, we're just making this work how we gonna do it. So that's also something that I just wanted to announce. And we will also be doing our Millennial Mogul. So if you all have anybody that y'all want to shout out, let me know as well. That'll be really, really great. So we can shout them out on the podcast and they can be known for their achievements and different things like that in life. So yeah, I'm just really excited to be able to come back and bring this season to you all, and hopefully y'all enjoy it. I just want to say thanks to Bria for, being the co-host for the season, and hopefully you are as excited as me to do this.
Yes. Thank you so much, Alieshia. And yes, from the therapy corner to you, the first step is to do the work. And I'm really big about homework. So the homework for you is to listen to these episodes as they come out and to apply the tools that you learn and to share your feedback with us. That's how therapy works. You listen, you work through stuff, you apply it, and you share how it works so we can find what works for you. So super excited.
And you leave reviews and you share with your other friends. Okay.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Share
So
with
thank
your people, share with your network. I'm sorry.
Yes. No, thank y'all so much for joining our first episode. And I'm so grateful to be here with you all. We're on for a journey ahead.
Yes. Thank y'all so much. Have a great day or night whenever you listen to this. And we will talk to y'all next week, or we'll see y'all on YouTube. Bye.